we're gonna be working on our elbows now, and I took off my hands so you guys can see what I'm trying to do with my hands while the elbows are coming out. So we're still starting off in our same fighting stance. I'm still squared off. My shoulders are squared. My hands are right into where I need to be. Remember, I bring my elbows in, my hands come up. Now, when I throw my elbow, one hand is usually coming up for defense, and I want that hand as high as I can so they're not hitting me, punching me, or anything. And now from here, I'm going to throw my elbow. Now, when I throw my elbow, what I really want to do is I want to turn my hand, palm out, and I'm really trying to touch with the top of my wrist right into the center of my chest, all right? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to turn it all the way in. Now, the farther I turn, that means the pointier my elbow gets. So when you're throwing an elbow, the whole purpose of an elbow is either to knock them out because you're hitting really hard with one of the hardest parts of your body, or two, is to cut them. If I hit them with this really pointy, hard part of my body into a soft spot on their body, what do I do? Soft spot meaning like all the little tissues around the eyes, around the cheeks, anywhere around there. I throw my elbow, or even into the nose. I've seen that happen as well. I throw my elbow, I'm gonna either cut them or I'm gonna hurt them, all right? So my job is to make my elbow as pointy as I can by turning my palm out, my wrist right into my chest, my other hand comes up to block. This is my defense while I'm throwing my offense, and my hand is coming all the way across, all right? My elbow's coming all the way across. So now, the exact same thing when we're throwing our hook, when we're throwing our cross. I'm pushing off my ankle, my heel is coming up off the mat, pressing my hip, turning my shoulder, and turning all the way through into my elbow, all right? So I want you guys to see where I'm at. Look at my leg. My leg pushes off. From my fighting stance, I'm gonna block, get my hand up, and then I'm gonna turn. Look at my heel. My heel turns, my hip turns, my shoulder turns, and then I go all the way through, getting into my horizontal elbow. Now, I do this from both sides. Most of the time when I'm sparring, if I ever am allowed to use elbows, my right hand's the only one that throws the elbow. But, I say, I have a problem with my left elbow, that's why I don't throw it. But it's the exact same thing, all right? I block with my right hand, get my hand palm out, all right? Wrist is gonna come into me, and then when I turn, I'm turning my body, and I'm throwing my horizontal elbow going side to side, all right? So from here, I'm in my fighting stance, I can throw one, I can throw two, and I get back to my fighting stance. However I'm gonna throw, make sure I'm turning my hips, I'm turning my heels, everything's getting into my power position, right? And I'm always using offense and defense. My elbow's my offense, my hand is my defense, and I'm keeping it up, all right? Some people ask me, why don't I keep my hand in here or just keep my hand up? Is I'm blocking myself while I'm throwing it. That's why I try to get out of the way. And then I can throw my elbow, and it's less resistance all the way through, all right? So our horizontal elbow, last time, fighting stance, all right? I turn all the way through, I block on one side, turn all the way through, and I'm trying to make that side to side line with my hand, with my elbow actually. From here, right? Block, throw my elbow, come back to my fighting stance, all right? Block, throw my elbow, come back to fighting stance, right? Every time I get back into my march and I'm ready to fight. Ready? Every single time, all right? That's it, guys. All right, guys, now we're gonna go into our uppercut elbow. So when we're throwing our elbow, like I said, it's just like anything else. We're throwing our punches, we're learning how to throw punches in a lot of different angles, all right? We're doing the exact same thing with our elbows. Our first elbows, or horizontal elbows, are coming side to side. Now they're gonna be coming up and down, from the bottom up, okay? So when I throw my elbow, I'm in my fighting stance. Notice how my hands are always naturally kind of separated. This is usually that little channel that you're gonna throw your elbow in. Somebody has their hands open, I throw my hand, and it's gonna go all the way in, right in between their hands, right? So what I want you to see is this, same thing. My hand comes up to block, the other hand, it's like I'm combing my hair, right? So every single time that I comb my hair, my elbow goes as high as I can. Now, don't touch your head, I'm doing it just to show you, but in reality, I'm in my fighting stance, I'm gonna push with my back leg, turn my hip, turn my shoulder, and I'm gonna go all the way through and lift up that elbow right down the middle, right? So when I do this, same thing. Turn your hand, get into position, get your elbow up as high as you can, and you're working that upward elbow. Now you can do it from both sides. From your fighting stance, all right? From here, I'm pushing, I'm leading, and I'm gonna throw my elbow. Notice how I'm still pressing with my heel. Heel comes up off the mat, knee comes up off the mat, it pushes your hip and it pushes your shoulder, and I get everything into that elbow. That's one, and then I go for the other side, and that's two, all right? That is our upward elbow, guys. Go. All right, guys, we're gonna work on our last technique for today, and that is our slashing elbow or our downward elbow, all right? So what I tell everybody is this, wherever they're at, sometimes getting into this really high position to come down and hit with an elbow is a super, super powerful technique, all right? And I've seen so many times that I've seen it in actual competition that it'll stop a fight, you know? And if you guys don't know, back in my Taekwondo days, I used to do a lot of these breaks, you know, learning how to break breaks and boards and things like that with that elbow. So I know my technique is very, very strong, you know, because I've practiced it for such a long time that I know that if I ever get in a bad situation and I throw this downward elbow, man, it could like potentially just finish the fight as fast as it can, but you have to work on it. So what I tell everybody is this, off of your fighting stance is gonna be the exact same thing. Now, instead of us going sideways or uppercut elbow, now we're gonna do our slashing elbow. It's our downward elbow. So now what I really want to do is I'm gonna bring my hand as close to my head as the exact opposite of combing your hair, up to your head, and now from here, I'm gonna throw all the way down. Now, the higher I lift up my elbow, the better the technique's gonna be, and the stronger the technique's gonna be. So if I only bring my elbow up shoulder height, this isn't a downward elbow anymore, it's a horizontal elbow. That's okay, but if that's not what you're trying to do, then that's not the technique, all right? So off of our fighting stance, what I do is I bring my hand all the way up, and it touches the side of my head, and now from here, I'm gonna try to rotate it all the way down and make that perfect straight line down the middle and really catch them. So if they're in their fighting stance and they try to cover up here and that elbow's coming down, it's gonna catch them anywhere on the forehead, on the nose, into the top of the eye, wherever I need to catch them, that's where I wanna throw my downward elbow, all right? So we off our fighting stance, all right? I get into my position, elbow comes up, hand comes up, and now from here, notice how my hand is open. Even if it's inside the glove, I try not to make a fist. I keep my hand loose inside that glove, and then I bring my elbow all the way down, all right? So I can do this from either side. From here, I turn my hand, one hand is up to block, the other hand gets up as high as I can, and boom, I throw my elbow down as hard as I can. So now for my fighting stance, lift up, and throw it all the way down. From my fighting stance, lift up, and throw it all the way down. Trying to make that perfect line. Now notice, my head's in the way, my shoulders, some of you guys don't have really flexible shoulders, that's okay, but trying to get up to that vertical line as much as you can is really important. Let me go sideways. So from here, I'm in my fighting stance, I lift up, get my hand as high as I can, my other hand to block, and I throw it down all the way down. And then I throw my other hand as high as I can, all right? Throw it down all the way down. And I'm trying to throw that elbow straight down the middle, all right? And I'm getting them right into their fighting stance, all right? So hopefully that works, guys.